Hey guys, it's Joe Glines from the-automator or the-automator. I was working on a little problem here I had where in my YouTube channel, I had, because my background's in statistics, I had a lot of videos, looks like 41 roughly, on SPSS, and I had stuff on marketing and everything, and I wanted to clean up my channel to make sure YouTube really saw me as doing automation, mostly with AutoHotkey, but maybe other programs, basically saving time. So let me share my screen here. And before, what I did was I actually went in and I removed, let's see here, how many? Yeah, so there were 41 videos on SPSS alone that I had. Some of these had like 10,000 views, so it was hard for me to remove them. But anyway, before I removed them, I went through, and just because I was in a hurry, I manually did it. I copied the tags, the title, and the description, and put them into a text file in a somewhat structured format. Let's open one up. So I put usually the title up here, the description here, and then the tags here. What I also realized was I had a lot of tags that because I want to create a new YouTube channel, and I had a lot of tags that I wouldn't want in there, like the automator and desktop automation. So, because when I put this up into the other channel, it's going to be about SPSS. So I didn't want to have those in there. So the first thing I did was I used grepwin to go through, and just because it's easy, and I said, hey, look for these words, and if you see like the automator or RPA or desktop automation, just remove them from the file. So that's why you'll see here, like actually some of these have double commas in a row. I could clean that up more, right? But also, in some of them, the titles got a little funky, so I'm gonna have to go and manually look at those, but that's okay. But what I also, when I did this, it was a manual thing, and I just put in some line returns. Sometimes I put in more, like here, there's more than one line return. Here I had an extra, so I had two blanks, and then this, and I didn't think about how I was going to use this data. And I have a virtual assistant now that I want to help me upload these files and do other things, right? So one of the things, and I was, so I first manually went through all of these files. If I could show them, all of these files, and I looped over them and removed those, the keywords I didn't want. Then I'm like, I need to put this into a spreadsheet so my admin or my virtual assistant can load them, but she doesn't understand, it's just going to be a painful thing. And I'd love to have a document that after everything gets uploaded, we put in the URL to the file, the video on YouTube, so we have the information, right? So I wanted to pre-process these and then dump them into Excel. So here I have an Excel file. Let's move this. I'm going to collapse the ribbon. And I started a little while ago writing this script. It took me about 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere in there. I'm using my Excel library. This part up here, so I get I should have added it. So add. So that's going to connect to the active Excel file. Here I'm putting in the headers. So here I say in cell A1, I'm shoving in an object to write to my function. So in A1, put in file name, and B1, put video title, and C1, put description, and D1, put tags, right? So that's just setting the values there. So I'm setting the headers. Then I said, you know what, let's make it a little pretty here. I'm gonna make the range A1 to D1, and I probably could have defined this as a variable like headers, and then it just use that. But I set it to be bold. Here you can see, this is a great thing about Studio, right? It shows you where you are. I could make it bold and italic or something, but I have it bold. I also then used my set column widths. I set everything to 50. And then here, this is the borders, and I put it to a weight of 3, and the line is a 1, and that's where in my Excel file you can see what that is. But that's setting the borders. And then I use file loop, and I loop over all text files. So here I put in this star **.txt, and I made it recursive, even though it didn't have to be. That would mean it would go into the subdirectories if I needed it to. And as I loop over them, so I then say, now let's get that file name, and then on each one we're going to parse. We're going to go through each file as I loop over them. So it picks the first file, and I'm going to do some stuff to it, and then it'll go to the next file, do some stuff to it, right? Initially, I was actually planning to rewrite the text files, and then I realized, why in the world am I rewriting the text files? Why don't I just shove the answer, so to speak, right, what I want, into Excel straight from this, skipping the whole after I clean it up, then going and processing it, right? So I'm like, this is stupid, right? Why would I go rewrite that when I have it right there? So I loop over the file read, I shove it into this variable called text, and then this right here is a regular expression, and I'm getting rid of the line return, the multiple line returns. So this is saying get rid of all, well, one or more, and just put in a new line feed, right? For every, this is the regex for any sort of line return. But the important part is there's one or more of them, right? And that's what's nice about a regular expression, is you can have something like that, one or more, and then just put in a line feed, and shove that data into text. And then from here, I use, because now, after I do that, each thing should be on a separate line. So the first line is one thing. Let's go back to the an actual text file. So this will be the first line, this will be the second line, and this will be the third line, right? So this will be the title, description, and tags. So then I use stir split here. That's the great thing about stir split, right? I'm stir splitting on this, and I say, hey, for the first one, shove that, and here's where I'm telling it to set values now, and I'm using the, I hard-coded the column, because this is a one-time thing, and I just add the A index, so every time it loops over it, right, it's going to go to the next row, and the next row, and the next row. And then I'm splitting it, so here it's going to be the first one, which will be that first row. So I set column B, and whatever row I'm in, to the title. Here I'm setting column C to the, the description. And this third one, I'm going to explain here, I did a little more stuff, is that I lowercased it, and that's more of a YouTube thing. It doesn't really matter, but what I realized when I would be adding tags is I would have uppercase and lowercase, and you can have them both upper and lowercase, and it doesn't actually really help you. So I wanted to start off fresh when I'm doing this and have everything lowercase, and that way when I'm actually doing it, everything is the same case, and I don't have to worry about it. I also, because sometimes there was a space and a comma, either at the beginning or the end, this will trim those out. It's not taking care of those double commas, which we saw, but honestly, I don't really care, right? My VA will take care of that. Actually, they'll just disappear when they go to paste them into YouTube. Now, I know I'm not working on it yet, but YouTube does have an API. We probably could automate that process as well, as taking this information and shoving it in there. But let's go ahead and get started and looking how it runs. So let's save this, launch it. Now let's pull up Excel. And you know what? Let's put one here. I'm going to put a message box here. Okay, so now let's come back in here. I'm going to hit my hotkey to launch it. And so now here's our headers done. So look at, oh, did I mention? I think I forgot to mention the shading. So this is the shading. The 28 is a blue, and that's in my help file as well. What colors? Notice it set the column widths. It set them to bold. It did the outline for me. I love this. You know what I should have done was add my freeze row. Maybe I'll do that here in a minute. But now it's going to jump into this loop, and because this is here, it's going to stop on each loop so we can see it. So here's the first one, right? Here's the second one. Here's the third one. Now at this point, I would be getting pretty bored. Now, what I also should point out is like, hey, this one didn't quite work, right? This one should have been shoved over because these commas. And what I probably could do if I wanted to was search, see if there's any commas in the value, because that's the only one it's going to have. No, because I could have commas in the other thing. So my VA is going to have to actually look at this and make sure that the things are what we think they are, right? But let me go ahead and comment this out. I'm going to save this, and I'll comment this out too, so we can redo them. Oh, hey, look at that. Save, reload. Now I'm going to run it. And you know what? Let's have this thing up here. I'm just going to reload it and run it. And bam, there we go. There's 40. I thought I had 41 files. Did I might have to look at this. Oh, you know what? Because this is not one and that's not one. So I should have, let's select all, get that, and now I have 39. Good. Okay. So because there's a header row, there's it's 40, but that one counts. So again, that was a very quick. Now notice here it doesn't freeze the top one. Let me see if I can quickly add that. I do like, and again, because it's easy, right? Excel freeze. That's the pointer to the thing. And row column A. So I'm just going to say row 1. Let's see what that does. I'm gonna rerun the whole thing because it just doesn't matter. Now let's see. There we go. And I froze my header row, right? So it's, again, this is one of the things I could have manually done this, or I could have started showing my VA of to go through and do this, but it'd be a lot of explaining. And I'm like, you know what? This is a programmer's dream of like a problem to solve, right? Now, like I said, some of these things, what I would do is look here, and when this is missing, say, hey, something needs to be shifted over, right? So I'll instruct her in that. That's where, you know, full automation and anything can take an amazing amount of time. Doing 90% of the work, that can take minutes, right? Or seconds sometimes. But, you know, this is one of those things, like I spent a few minutes, now I got it in here, and it'll be easy for her to go through manually and kind of take a look at it. And then, like I said, we're going to add another column when she uploads these, put in the URL, put in an actual schedule date, which is something I'll because I don't want them all going at once, right? I want to kind of ease into it. So every, what I do on my channel is what I was doing was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But yeah, you get the idea. Hope that helps. Helps you think about also things that you could be doing, right? Processing files, cleaning them up. It's not rocket science. I could have recorded the whole video with me doing it, but one, I haven't programmed in a couple weeks. I've been busy with everything else I'm trying to do for the Automator and getting our business going. And I was worried I was going to be a little rusty, but I really cranked this thing out pretty quickly. Again, this Excel library, having that saves me a ton of time. So hope that helps. Cheers.